I'm going to go into a little bit of your bio.
Sure.
You've lived in Teaneck for over 20 years. You've raised your children there. You were
Yes.
one of the key architects of One Town, One Vote. And I remember that whole initiative. That was a huge deal. And you successfully campaigned to shift local elections to November, boosting voter turnout significantly. So that, on behalf of the people of Teaneck, I know that was a huge deal. And I'm sure many people are grateful for that effort. You are a vice chair of voter registration efforts, and you are in the PTO. You are the PTO president at the Academy of Greatness and Excellence, and you serve on the Municipal Open Spaces Trust and the advisory board on community relations. So tell us more about, I mean, that was a lot, but that was not the full breadth of all that you've done for Teaneck and Bergen County. So tell us more about yourself, who you are, and just tell us about yourself.
Great. So Tavra, if I had to talk about myself in one sentence, I would say I'm an overachiever super mom with electrifying energy that wants to change the world. So I'm a marketer, remember, so I had to come up with an elevator pitch. Lived in Teaneck almost 20 years now. Love our town. I mean, what's not to love, right? 41,000 people, diversity. We came here for the diversity. We have friends from Senegal and Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic, and literally all over. And I've been busy raising kids, but also been busy giving back to the community. Love this community so much. As you know, One Town, One Vote was a great initiative where we moved town elections from May to November. And I always like to say there are some benefits to keeping the elections in May, but when you find out what those benefits are, do let me know, because higher voter turnout is something that we should all be really looking forward to. And that's what happened in November 2022, Tavra. Was the first time in the history of Teaneck when local elections for the council were held in November, along with the general election. And we proved through a petition and then having to, take the township to court, unfortunately, that we proved that voter turnout can, in fact, be doubled if we have the elections in November. The exact stats are yet to come because we're doing the math on it, but it was a galvanizing movement. I was just the face of the movement, Tavra. People think that, Reshma was this petitioner, but we had this whole army.
I remember.
Of residents, like walking around in blue T-shirts. Residents were coming to us and saying, hey, can I sign that petition? So that was a very exciting moment. But also in the background, you mentioned my school. My kids go to a school. I have been in the past 2017-18. I was PTO president. I continue to be active on the board. I work with the League of Women Voters. Fabulous, fabulous organization. If I can just put in a plug for them for a hot second, they do amazing work in getting women involved in public policy. They take us down to Trenton. They train us in advocacy. They tell us how to speak to the policymakers and how to lobby for the right causes. It's so close to my heart. And to give you an example, this past March in Ramadan, we were actually able to take a small group of core volunteers, my sister in crime, Nadia Hussain, who's always with me. Both of us, we actually went to our local and we said, guess what? We just want to do voter registration. That's it. And people were like, oh, but we're not from Teaneck. Oh, but we don't live here. It does not matter. Voter registration is the great equalizer. So we were able to get 50 people registered just in the month of Ramadan, which was March through April. So that's another initiative. Other than that, I'm also on the town boards, the Municipal Open Space Trust Board, which is fabulous because we are looking for ways to actually amplify the open spaces we have in Teaneck and what we can do better for residents. And then one of my favorite and also very close to my heart is I'm on the advisory board for community relations, where we about resident dialogue. And as you can imagine, the past 9 months have been very heavy in Teaneck. We have been siloed because of reasons, we won't get into that now, but we are working to see how we can have a dialogue with different communities. And lastly, I would say on a personal front, I can't sit still, right? So my husband, Arif, and I, who is my amazing partner in everything that I do, we started a movement called the American Changemakers. We take a group of youth, and we don't want too many. We just take a group of youth that are highly motivated. We take them out to key events. We teach them civic engagement. We empower them, give them knowledge of activism. And we do that. And our own girls, I have 3 daughters, and 2 of them are junior black belt karate black belt holders. And I have a 6-year-old. And the girls said, hey, what about us? So we started also a choir group. They're called the Nightingales.
Oh.
So as I said before, overachiever, super mom, trying to do a lot of things. Tavra, only because I love Teaneck. What's not to love? There's just so much to offer. And of course, friends have become family, even though now I'm 15,000 miles away in this tiny village here where our factory is based. My friends have been texting me nonstop, been talking to them around the clock.
Yeah, we have a few comments for you. Let's see. Tonette says, go Reshma and Dwayne. Sana, go Reshma. Good to see you, Reshma. Woot woot. So yeah. So we have some people sending you love from Toronto and everywhere else. So so that's awesome. So one of the things you just mentioned was about the last 9 months in Teaneck. And for those of you who are watching, you probably are familiar with what's been going on with the contentiousness of the town's, I guess, community relations, dealings within the school board, within the council. So how will you, if elected, how will you work to make Teaneck a better place for all of its residents?
Sure. So first of all, when I'm elected, we're starting with a winning mindset. Like I said before, we already have these peaceful warriors, not just in Teaneck or New Jersey. We have people around the globe wearing our T-shirts and our hats. We've already started a movement. The movement is called We Can Do It, because my last name is Khan. And someone says this cannot be done, I'm outproof that it can be done. And again, I'm just the candidate. We have this whole army of people behind us. The last 9 months, what has happened in Teaneck can be described as politicization of an international issue.
Okay.
We live in Teaneck. We live in Teaneck. We do not live anywhere else. So the reason I'm running is to unite our communities, to make sure that we treat each other as we should, as neighbors. We've always been neighbors. We are kind to each other. We've always got along. I just want people to get along, Deborah. It's quite simple. So when elected, my focus will be on uniting the communities. In fact, a couple of years ago, we were having this conversation with some people, local politicians, and I was told that my dream to unite the community will remain a dream. So I'm actually running to show them that it's a goal and it can be crushed. And that goal is to bring all our communities together and just live as neighbors. So that'll be the first thing. Focus on local issues so we can live as neighbors. There's a lot we can do in Teaneck, Deborah. Second platform issue would be focusing on development. And yes, we want to modernize for sure. We are already seeing a lot of growth in development, but we are Teaneck. We are not other towns. We do not want overdevelopment. Residents have been pretty upset about the way development is happening and the kind of development that's happening. So the second platform issue is to have sustainable development, to modernize Teaneck, to bring in new revenue streams, but at the same time, maintain the neighborhood vibe that we have.
Okay.
Well, I guess it is in kind of order, but I'm speaking also to representation. I'm running to show that everyone can have a welcoming voice on an inclusive council. I will be, God willing, the first hijabi council member on the Teaneck council. Now, hijab is like her job, something like that. Hijab is a head covering that women wear. A slight digression for you. I only started wearing the hijab after 9/11 because I was trying to change the narrative against my community. So when I'm on the council, I would like our council to be a place where residents can come and talk to us, where we can be open. We invite everyone. And most importantly, Tevra, anywhere I go, I speak for the unseen and the unheard. This concept of if you're not at the table, you're on the menu, cancel that. We are not going to that. We will speak for everyone. We will literally pull in a chair for the community member that's not in the room, and we will speak to those communities.
Mm-hmm.
Another platform we should really be thinking about is how can we protect the environment? There is so much that can be done in Teaneck. We can have pollinator gardens. We have environmental activists like the amazing, amazing Paula Rogovin and her entire team, Mr. Art Vatsky. They've been spreading awareness about the unsafe oil issues that we've had. As a council member, I'm looking forward to work with them. I already know the Environmental Commission. I'm in talks with them in order to try a new app, to try environmentally sustainable practices in Teaneck. So there's a lot that can be done. Overall, to sum up everything I said, the idea is Teaneck can do it. We can do it.
All right.